Why do some pool owners install things like ozone or UV in their swimming pool filtration equipment? I mean, not every swimming pool has that stuff, but you've heard of it. There's enough of them around. Why are they doing that? And what are the benefits potentially that they're getting from these devices? So, first of all, let's clarify. If you said UV and ozone, anytime prior to a few years ago, I would have known that you were talking about germicidal UV or an ozone generator. Modernly, because of marketing efforts and new technology in the swimming pool industry, AOP is something that we see a lot of. Advanced oxidation process or advanced oxidation potential. And this is basically an oxidizer, right? Ozone is an oxidizer based system. You're adding O3 to the system, an oxidizer. And so an AOP system, commonly, most of the ones on the market, they make hydroxyl radicals. And the way they do it is by combining UV and ozone together, such that it might say right on the box, UV, ozone, and then maybe it says also AOP or hydroxyl radicals, something like that. But you didn't notice that. You definitely noticed UV and ozone. And so that's why you might have mentioned it. And I'm pointing this out because there's a difference. There's a germicidal UV lamp. There is an ozone generator. And then there is an AOP system, which internally has ozone and UV combining together with which to create hydroxyl radicals, which is the point of an AOP system. So it's a little confusing there because, it's all the same stuff, but it's the way in which it's being implemented, which changes and makes a difference in this case. So why would you install one of these on your swimming pool? Any of the above mentioned items, a germicidal UV lamp, an ozone system, an AOP system, a mineral-based system, any peripheral device that's designed to help and interact with your water chemistry in one way or another. Well, the reason why is that simply there's a lot of potential benefits to be had with some of these systems. There's a certain amount of snake oil out there, like pool magnets or anything that claims that it just does everything and you don't even need to do water chemistry anymore. All of that stuff falls under snake oil for me. And I guess you got to be careful because there's some of that stuff out there. But there's a ton of beneficial stuff as well. So let's just take a quick step back and just talk for a second about chlorine and the 4 reasons that we need it. We use chlorine because it is a chemical sanitizer. We use chlorine because it is an oxidizer. We use chlorine because it is an algicide. And finally, possibly most importantly, we use chlorine because it is able to build and hold a residual value within the water. So as you can see, that there's a lot of stuff going on there with chlorine, but you notice that I mentioned oxidizer. In fact, I said sanitizer, oxidizer, algicide. What if we could install a device which was an oxidizer? That's what it did. Like, for example, ozone. Ozone's an oxidizer, or AOP is like a oxidizer system on steroids, basically. So what if we install those? How does that interact or affect the water chemistry? Essentially, what ends up happening is the oxidizing that the chlorine used to do in the pool probably still does it. It just does way less of it. Like, that's the whole idea here. We're taking away some of the workload away from the chlorine, doing that manually or mechanically with some other peripheral system, thereby requiring less overall chlorine in the pool. Everything that we do and we bolt to the wall in our filtration equipment setup to help with the water chemistry, that's what it's doing, is we're just incrementally reducing the amount of chemical sanitizer that you need to add to your water to otherwise keep the water safe. A given pool with an exact clone of that pool right next door, 2 exactly identical pools, like beyond even just comparable, exactly identical. One has a germicidal UV light, one does not. And they both use liquid chlorine tanks. And at the end of the year, we can literally just look at the chlorine tanks and see who used more chlorine. The pool without the germicidal UV light will have used more chlorine. the pool with the germicidal UV light will have used less chlorine, even though the germicidal UV light itself consumes some chlorine as part of how it functions. Still, there's a net positive benefit here, and you would have used less chlorine in your pool. So, if you're trying to spend less money on chlorine, you accomplish that. If you're trying to have less exposure to chemical sanitizers in your pool water overall, you were exposed to less of those. Like these are the benefits that you're getting. Maybe the third one, you spent less time because somebody had to take the time to add that chlorine to the pool. You didn't in the other case, so there you go. It's a time saver too. So you see how we're incrementally chipping away at these things, and this is a beneficial system if you add it to your pool. There's more benefits too. Like let's just pick one at random. A UV light would be installed best directly upstream or before your pool heater. And I mean, that's uncommon. Hardly anything gets installed upstream of the pool heater because the pool heater is the thing we need to protect. It's worth more money than anything else on the pad. It can break if you treat it wrong, and pretty much anything relating to water chemistry has to happen after the water's already gone through the heater. That way we're not risking the heater at all. But not a UV light, because part of what a UV light does is it destroys chloramine, spent chlorine that lives in your water, no longer as free chlorine, but as a chloramine, combined chlorine. The UV light destroys that. So if you put the UV light before the pool heater, you're actually destroying some of these chloramines that otherwise would have been incrementally chipping away at the longevity of the internals of your pool heater. And so, again, just another peripheral benefit of having these auxiliary systems installed. They don't replace water chemistry. You don't stop using chlorine or anything like that. You don't stop managing the pH of your water. You still do all that stuff. You just do less of it. That's the whole idea. And the better, the more robust and well-equipped the peripheral equipment that you're installing is, the more pronounced the benefits will be to you, the pool owner. The less time you'll spend with your water chemistry, the more often your pool water will look good. At the end of the year, the big chlorine tank that we're using for your pool is going to be a little more full than it used to be. That's the whole idea here by using these systems. So is there any one that's better than the other? Actually, yes, there is. So an ozone system is near to the bottom of the list, but it's near to the bottom of the list of like legitimate options to consider, not the snake oil list that like I wouldn't use that system if you gave it to me for free. There's a list for that, but an ozone system's on the bottom of the list of like, you could use one. There would be some peripheral benefits here. There's just things to consider, like ozone, if designed as part of the system, I would build floor returns. And the reason why is contact time with the water is important. Ozone is literally a bubble, little tiny champagne bubbles of ozone. And the longer that bubble is exposed to your pool water, the higher the likelihood it's going to encounter some bacteria or organic contaminants and oxidize it, thereby doing its function. So a floor-based return is great for an ozone system because it makes this really long path of travel for that water or that air bubble to go, thereby increasing the likelihood you're actually getting some sort of substantial benefit from it. But here's the thing. Most pools, when you are adding an ozone system, you're adding it after the fact. Seldom are you installing a pool and now deciding it. But even if you are, you'd have to install a flow return just to get the optimum benefits from an ozone system, which probably is undersized to begin with. What do I mean by that? I mean it's the amount of ozone that this thing actually makes. Like how much ozone does it actually make? And how much ozone do you actually need in a pool of your size to have any appreciable benefit here? Those would be nice numbers to know. Like it's, in theory, these are knowable things, but in reality, as a consumer, it's going to be basically impossible for you to answer that question. But let me summarize by telling you this. In my experience, when I've looked this stuff up, it's not looking good for these ozone systems. Like wholesale, they're inadequately sized to have any appreciable benefit here. And that's why pretty much I don't recommend ozone systems. I would exclusively recommend germicidal UV lamps versus ozone systems because there's a host of reasons why, but I just want to point out that since AOP has come to the market, which is relatively new overall for swimming pool systems, and it's an oxidizer as well. I mentioned earlier, it's like an ozone system on steroids. Basically, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Advanced oxidation process. It combines ozone and UV or other methods with which to create hydroxyl radicals, and hydroxyl radicals are extremely reactive, and as a result, they're a more powerful oxidizer than ozone by a lot. And so it's a different kind of scale here. And an AOP system, I do recommend. Ozone, probably not so much. Germicidal UV, I still really like, even though there's better options like AOP available. It's a little bit less hands-on, a little bit lower tech, a little bit less money, a little bit less cost of maintenance. That's a germicidal UV lamp, and you're going to get some benefits. Maybe not quite as pronounced as these super powerful AOP systems that are on the market now, but it's not going to take as much upkeep. You're not going to have to deal with any potential ozone being injected into your system because there's potential disadvantages of ozone. Ozone can be harmful to things, and often it would be a good idea to install some sort of purge vessel or degassing vessel with which to get rid of that ozone that's in your system. So bunch of different stuff to consider here, like choosing the right peripheral system to help with your chemical sanitizer, to help with your chemical oxidizer, to take some of that workload off and reduce the amount of external chemicals that you're buying and adding. It is a fairly long and technical conversation consisting of things like your budget, your expectations of function, where do you live, what kind of pool, like a bunch of different variables that you would have to consider to really truly be making an informed decision for yourself here. But I think I've walked you down the road a little bit that helps you to understand why there are some other systems out there. There's a spectrum of how beneficial each and every one of them would be to your pool, the potential that it has, a lot of stuff to consider, a lot of moving parts here, but ultimately a well-designed swimming pool system often would incorporate some sort of peripheral equipment like this in order to maximize the benefit and reduce the total amount of external chemicals that you're having to add to the pool just to maintain your water chemistry. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my website, swimmingpoolsteve.com.